What is an extra rule your family added to a popular board or card game? When I was 12, my dad added a rule to Monopoly that seemed completely random. Every time someone landed on free parking, they had to share one real thing that happened that week. Happy, sad, embarrassing, whatever. Just had to be true. My older brother Jonah was 16 and thought it was the dumbest thing he'd ever heard. I just wanted to collect my $500 and keep playing. But Dad was firm about it. No sharing, no money. So we started playing along. First few weeks were surface level. Jonah would complain about his chemistry teacher giving impossible tests. I'd talk about making the soccer team or stupid things that happened at lunch. Mom shared stories about difficult customers at her salon who wanted impossible haircuts. Dad always went last, usually mentioning something boring about fixing the fence or a meeting at work. But here's the thing, Dad never forgot. If you said something one week, he'd follow up the next. How'd that chemistry test go? Did you score in your soccer game? Did that customer come back? He kept a mental scoreboard of our lives that had nothing to do with Boardwalk or Park Place. This went on for maybe 4 months. Every Sunday night, same routine. We'd set up the game around 7 p.m. and Jonah would already be rolling his eyes before we even started. But we played. We always played. Then one Sunday in February, I landed on free parking. Dad slid the money to the center and waited. I sat there with nothing to say. Literally nothing had happened that week worth mentioning. Dad said that's still the rule, so I panicked and made something up about getting an A on a math test I'd actually gotten a C on. He looked at me for a second, and I knew he knew I was lying, but he just nodded and pushed the money toward me. Didn't call me out. Didn't make it a thing. The next week, Jonah landed on free parking. He stared at the center of the board where the money was piling up. Had to be close to $800. Dad asked what he wanted to share. Jonah's jaw tensed. He picked up the dice, put them back down, then picked them up again. Jonah? Mom asked quietly. His voice cracked when he finally spoke. Ashley broke up with me 3 days ago. The board went silent. Ashley had been his girlfriend for 8 months. We'd all met her. She came to our house for dinner twice. Jonah had been planning to ask her to prom. I didn't want to bring it up at dinner, Jonah continued, staring at his hands, because I figured you'd all make some joke about high school relationships not mattering, or tell me there's plenty of fish in the sea or whatever. Dad didn't say any of that. He just asked, "You doing okay?" Jonah shrugged. "Not really. Want to talk about it?" "Not really." Dad nodded. "Okay, but if you change your mind, I'm here." He pushed the free parking money toward Jonah. All $800. "Your turn to roll." That's when I finally understood what Dad was doing. He wasn't making up a stupid rule to annoy us. He was creating a space where we had to talk, where sharing wasn't awkward because it was just part of the game, where checking in wasn't some forced family meeting. It was just what happened when you landed on free parking. The game became different after that night. I started actually thinking about what to share instead of just saying whatever popped into my head. Jonah opened up about college applications and how stressed he was about getting into a good school. Mom talked about her sister being sick, something she'd been keeping from us because she didn't want us to worry. And Dad started sharing real things too. About his father passing away when he was 17. About wishing he'd had someone to talk to back then. About not wanting his kids to feel like they had to handle everything alone. We played Monopoly every Sunday for 2 more years until Jonah left for college. I'm 24 now, and I still remember those games better than I remember who actually won. Last month, I visited home and found our old Monopoly set in the closet. The board was worn, the money faded. I texted Jonah, who's 28 now and lives 4 states away. "Remember Dad's free parking rule?" He texted back immediately. "Starting that with my kids someday." Jonah ended up getting the house and all the railroads most games. I usually dominated with hotels on the green properties, but Dad won something none of us realized we were playing for. He got us to actually tell him what was going on in our lives, one free parking landing at a time.